Hello and welcome to the news at 10 on NTN 24. We're reaching you live from Abuja. I am Minna Daniels. Let's take the headlines. Energy Summit. Nigeria woos more investment as Dangote again slashes down petrol price. EFCC raises concern over organized foreign fraud syndicates recruiting young Nigerians. And APC holds first NEC meeting under Ganduje. Members express confidence in President Bola Tinubu's leadership.
Provide access and visibility to the leadership. The National Working Committee, at its first meeting, resolved to be having regular weekly meetings.
A pivotal international panel at the Nigerian International Energy Summit wants to find sustainable solutions to driving cross-continental investments towards scaling Africa's energy frontier. The panel, featuring a lineup of global energy leaders, also aims to explore pathways for global investments in Africa's energy landscape, address challenges in infrastructure development, and foster innovation and growth. Lydia Sampson reports.
The lineup of global energy leaders in Abuja for the Nigeria International Energy Summit is indicative of the summit's success 8 years after. Leveraging global energy leaders' insights towards harnessing more frontiers gave rise to discussions on overcoming barriers to attract international capital and building a sustainable energy future for Africa.
We take a long-term approach, so there's not really a shift in our narrative. Now, the thing which we can provide is stability. Stability means we work together, making sure that energy is affordable. So it's important because today, if you just focus on the natural decline rates in production around the world, you're talking at least 4 or 5%. In some places, it's much more, actually. Now, when we say we need to invest in upstream, we need to invest today just to manage what natural decline is.
Africa stands at the forefront of this energy transformation, endowed with over 8% of the world's proven natural gas reserves, a resource that presents a remarkable opportunity to enhance energy access, drive economic growth, foster regional integration, and contribute to global energy stability.
They acknowledge Africa's evolving role in the global energy transition, reiterating that all energy sources will continue to provide energy as part of the broader energy supply mix. Optimism is high that the coming on board of the African Energy Bank is going to make a significant impact.
As far as we are concerned in the African Energy Bank, we are doing a project that will bring money to those who invest in it, but more importantly, it is going to catapult Africa from where it is today in terms of energy poverty to abundance.
In view of Africa's enormous energy potential, the summit seeks to drive transformative growth in the oil and gas and power sectors through foreign direct investment. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
Now, it seems the current administration's reforms in the oil and gas sector is attracting foreign investors, boosting oil production and gas infrastructure development. The Nigerian International Energy Summit provides the needed platform to highlight the significant strides in Nigeria's energy sector. So let's now join our energy correspondent Lydia Sampson at the summit for more insights and takeaways. Hello, Lydia.
Hi,
Mina. So much has been talked about, Lydia, about foreign investment in Africa. What are the windows of opportunities therein for Nigeria?
Thank you for having me. Indeed, the summit is showcasing Nigeria's commitment to becoming a global energy powerhouse. Also, it is doing a lot in showcasing Africa's potential, especially the energy potential across the entire energy spectrum. But I have with me a key and more formal person that will provide more insight in the person of the CEO of Brevity Anderson, Mr. James Shinde. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
You've been behind all of this in the last 8 years, collaborating with the federal government, putting together this energy summit. What would you say are the key takeaways, especially from this very edition?
So I think the main thing is having an understanding that this event is owned by the federal government, and so as Brevity Anderson, we're delighted to partner with the government to deliver this event. In terms of key takeaways, I think we have to celebrate exactly what's happening in the industry in terms of what the president is doing, the current reforms and the impact that's having on the industry. I think the country has come to realize that we have to lead the conversation in Africa and global as well in terms of oil and access to energy, affordable energy, because we can't develop if we don't have access to energy, affordable energy. Very important. So the key thing here this year is access to energy, access to funding for energy, and we're delighted to announce that the Africa Energy Bank will be starting up very soon, and Nigeria has won the right to host the bank here, which is a major thing and a great victory for the government as well. We're looking also at the reforms in the NNPC, led by Madam Carey, doing an excellent job. I think the transformation is something we haven't seen anywhere else in the world. How the company is transformed to what is the state right now, I think that's something worth celebrating, and we're happy to have those issues on the fore and discuss them and just have a look at what the future holds. And it's very bright, to be honest with you. We look forward to a very bright future.
Yeah, talking about the future, you came with someone. Please join me. Can you also throw more light on what Mr. James has said? And perhaps I'll just quickly go back to him for the future projections.
Thank you. I think the real essence of this summit is demonstrating the key commitment of the government of this country, the agenda of Mr. President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Honorable Ministers for Oil and for Gas, in truly helping Nigeria to achieve its energy potential, to support the industry, to support all the players, to make sure that the needs of Nigeria and indeed Africa is met and exploited to the full. So I'm Brevity Anderson, we're committed to that, we're supporting that effort, and we're taking the conference to another level.
So back to you, you are the CEO. The projections for the future as we handle.
Actually, Nigeria is at the forefront of increasing production, which is good news. But I think beyond that, we've seen a lot of the companies who we thought were leaving, have confirmed they're not leaving. They're just moving to, the offshore, ultra deep waters, and these are really expensive projects. So they're now divesting the local assets to, indigenous companies. But that also is a point worth emphasizing. We have now Nigerian companies buying off these assets and now producing. So areas where Shell used to produce before, you then have Nigerian companies buying those assets and starting to produce. So it's really good. And then in terms of the midstream, downstream as well, you have refineries coming on stream, Dangote Refinery, there's other refineries as well, Walter Smith, there's other ones coming on stream as well. So I think the future looks really bright, and I think Nigeria is at the forefront of driving this conversation, and we're happy to be here to be involved with what's happening.
Thank you very much for your insights. It's back to you, Mina. You've heard from the organizers and the key players. Nigeria is on course, and I must say, as a reporter on the beat, the lineup of global energy experts is an indicative session that indeed this session and the Energy Summit is playing a key role. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lydia. There's no doubt that the future of energy in Nigeria looks quite bright listening to you and the guys out there. So we look forward to the key takeaways indeed from that summit. Thank you for the update. And so moving on, Dangote Petroleum Refinery and Petrochemicals has slashed the price of petrol for the second time this month. It has earlier reduced 65 naira off the previous price of 890 naira, bringing ex-depot price down to 825 naira per litre, sequel to a 60 naira reduction February 1st. The ex-depot price has decreased from 950 naira per litre in January to current price of 825 naira per litre, representing a reduction of 125 naira per litre within 26 days. This development will ensure Nigerians pay between 860 and 865 naira per litre for petrol at the pump in Lagos. The price adjustment will take effect from Thursday, February 27th, and is intended to provide essential relief to Nigerians. The price adjustment is designed to provide essential relief to Nigerians in celebration of the Ramadan season, while also supporting President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's economic recovery policy by alleviating the financial burden of Nigerians. Dangote Petroleum Refinery assured the public of a consistent supply of petroleum products with sufficient reserves to meet domestic demand and a surplus for export, thereby boosting the country's foreign exchange earnings. One community at a time. Federal government is deploying solar mini-grids to rural areas to provide affordable and reliable electricity. Lambata in Gurara, local government area of Niger State, is the latest beneficiary of the interventions that target more than 900 communities nationwide in the first phase. Joshua Jito reports that Minister of Power Adebayo Adelabu inaugurated the solar mini-grid amidst excitement by the rural dwellers.
More than 20,000 rural communities in Nigeria said to be without electricity. Interventions such as these is expected to close the energy gap gradually and boost rural economy. This is almost 1 megawatt of solar farm, and it is expected to serve communities in Lambata, Gurara local government area of Niger State. It is implemented under the Interconnected Mini-Grid Acceleration Scheme.
While the Honorable Minister is working towards creating, enhancing generation and reliability for Band A, B, and C, we are also working from the bottom, creating reliability for Band D and E. This is just one of the schemes. We are also working towards deploying another 40 interconnected mini-grids.
Social and economic activities are expected to bounce back in parts of Lambata, which have been without electricity supply for 6 years, as Minister of Power Adebayo Adelabu inaugurates the mini-grid.
With this intervention, the residents of this community are assured of 24-hour supply of stable, functional electricity.
Frankly, I will employ the community to also take charge.
European Union and the German government supported the IMAS project with more than 4 billion naira, and more communities in the country have been selected to benefit from the intervention.
In Cross River, we have 4 communities, and in Osun State, we also have 6 communities that are already energized through the IMAS project.
We can electrify much more communities through renewable energies, and the German government will employ significant funds in order to make this happen.
We are very, very happy and we appreciate.
The interconnected grid will, in addition to solar energy source, receive supply from the national grid, where Abuja Electricity Distribution Company, AEDC, commits to its reliability. Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
Let's take a break now. We have more after the break.
I am Oluremi Tinubu, the global and national Stop TB champion. Many people have asked why I've chosen to champion the fight against a disease like tuberculosis. My reason stems from a deep personal experience. I once had a friend who unfortunately fell ill and concealed the nature of his sickness until it was too late. Eventually, after he passed, we discovered he had tuberculosis. Sadly, due to the stigma and discrimination surrounding the disease, he would not speak up or seek for help. His death was a painful reminder that we could have intervened and saved a life if only we had known earlier. Tuberculosis is an airborne disease that primarily affects the lungs, but can also impact other parts of the body. Being airborne means anyone, regardless of their social economic status, can contract it. In Nigeria, 1 person dies of TB-related illness every 7 minutes, amounting to 206 deaths every day. Globally, one person succumbs to TB every 25 seconds, which is a staggering 3,456 lives lost daily. These deaths are entirely preventable because TB is curable if detected and treated early. If you or someone you know has been coughing for 2 weeks or more, coughing up blood, experiencing night sweats, or losing weight drastically, it might be TB. Please visit the nearest government hospital or primary healthcare center for proper diagnosis and treatment. TB treatment is free in all government and some private health facilities. Let us also remember not to stigmatize or discriminate against TB patients or those who have been treated for TB. Individuals who have been cured of TB cannot infect others. I call on all stakeholders, especially the private sector, to join us in the fight to end TB in Nigeria. Together, we can make a difference. Remember, TB anywhere is TB everywhere. End TB by 2030. Yes, we can.
Thanks for joining us again. Now, today is World NGO Day, a day set aside to honor the non-profit organizations and volunteers who give their time and resources to help make a difference. And I have with me right here in the studio, Dr. Samson Ebimaro. He is a Director, International Cooperation under the Federal Minister of Budget and Economic Planning. Nice to have you right here with me, sir.
Thank you, Bena.
All right, I know it's an auspicious day today. Why is this day so, passionate to you and the ministry?
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me to share with the public, why today is very important, for us. The Federal Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning is a very strategic ministry, and fundamentally they coordinate the plans, projects, and priorities of government. We also work with subnational levels to promote, national development. Today is very important because the tech sector, the grassroots movement, what they do in Nigeria is to support government to cover the space that government could not cover. So indirectly, they work with the Federal Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning in trying to cover those spaces in terms of plans, projects, and priorities of government. So that is why, as today is the day for, retrospecting and reviewing the things they do in Nigeria, it is also very important for us, to speak and perhaps, underscore the impact of their intervention and activities in Nigeria.
Okay, what's this year's theme and how apt is it?
Empowering grassroots movement for a sustainable future. It is very apt because yesterday is gone, though we have to make inferences from yesterday in order to talk about the future. But the future is very, very important. So the work that the grassroots movement do in Nigeria is very, very critical, and their activities are indispensable, and we need to continue to work with them because development is about everybody working together to get results and to achieve impact.
Okay, Samson, there's been proliferation of NGOs in the country. Would you say these NGOs do have the desired impact in the country?
Thank you for that question. And You know, in our constitution, a part of it speaks about freedom of association, and we are in a liberal society and a liberal economy. So this Nigeria is not an exception. So as in other countries, NGOs, people stand up to say, we want to work, we want to make our contribution to support government, to support society on their own. We want to give on voluntary basis. So we could not, as part of government, stop these voluntary organizations who are working on humanitarian basis. But what is left for government is to regulate the activities, how they operate, because the whole space, so to speak, belongs to government. Thank you so much.
Okay, many have argued, that these NGOs are established for personal gains. So what is the ministry actually doing to sieve the chaff from the grains?
Thank you so much. We have regulatory procedures. We have what is called SOP, Standard Operating Procedure, to regulate the activities of these grassroots organizations. And of course, they are voluntary organizations. They get money, source money from, places, and we also try to regulate where they get money from. For example, the anti-money laundering certificate must be obtained from an arm of EFCC to ensure that they are not getting money from terrorist organizations to fund activities. We ensure that for international organizations like INGOs, they have to pass through the rigorous process of scrutiny at the Office of National Security Advisor before we give them clean slate to operate in the country. And from time to time, we visit the activities to see what they are doing, identify the location, identify the group they are working with, and be able to ascertain that they are actually doing what they are expected to do according to specifications.
All right, Dr. Samson Ebimarom, Director, International Cooperation, Federal Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Happy NGO Day.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, so now to politics. The governing All Progressives Congress, APC, has held its long-awaited National Executive Committee meeting after the August 3, 2023 session that ousted Abdullahi Adamu and ushered in Dr. Abdullahi Umaru Ganduje. Political correspondent Abubakar Kwanga reports that internal party mechanism, reconciliation and inherited debt profile of more than 8 billion naira dominated agenda of the meeting.
I would like to begin by thanking God the Almighty for sparing our lives to be part of this first National Executive Council meeting.
February 26, 2025 will remain in history for a very long time in the hearts of political gladiators and ardent followers of top party events, especially within the APC fold, as the positions of Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje and Dr. Ajibola Basiru as National Chairman and National Secretary of the party were rectified alongside other members of the National Working Committee. And the party's plenary session began after a summary of the agenda was read by the National Chairman of the party, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, and issues of internal party politics, array of defections by opposition, and outstanding legal fee of more than 8 billion naira came to the front burner.
Your Excellency, in our effort to further build on the fortunes of the party, provide access and visibility to the leadership, the National Working Committee at its first meetings resolved to be having regular weekly meetings. This initiative has opened our doors to consistent engagement and interaction with various support groups, state chapters, local and international groups, party members in diaspora, envoys, and many others.
Leaders of the party at various layers of responsibilities passed a vote of confidence in the president beyond 2027 owing to the sincerity of policy's execution under a tough and daunting times.
In previous administrations, to even undertake payment of salaries they needed to print the currency without any production, without earnings. But under you, ways and means have been brought to an end. So I want to congratulate you.
As we strengthen our currency, inflation has significantly declined, dropping from 18.2% in mid-2024 to 12.5% by the end of the year.
Who took all the blames at the beginning of all the various reform policies of Mr. President? Cost of living is high, yes. Food is expensive, yes. Hunger is in town, yes. But we need a permanent solution.
There is now relationship between effort and reward. As a worker, sir, that is the basis for encouraging everyone that if you work, you will earn.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu appreciated the strategic input made during the session and expressed confidence in the leadership of the party and said the outcome will assist in positioning the party and the country at large.
This cramming place is getting too small for us. And I agree with you, we need space allocation. But you know Abuja better than myself. And you can work with Wiki and let me know where you need my attention.
The party paid tribute to its fallen comrades who during their lifetime contributed immensely to the growth and survival of the party before and under the new dispensation.
On your mandate we shall stand. On your mandate, on your mandate, on your mandate we shall stand.
In Abuja, Abubakar Akwanga, NTA News.
That concludes the news at 10 on NTA News 24. Thank you for watching. I am Mina Daniels.